Good morning and good night. Thanks again for downloading the Body Snatchers podcast. If you like what you hear today, don't forget to subscribe and comment. So let's get started. Enjoy the show.
What's going on, guys? Good morning, good night. Tino here, hanging out with Jay.
Hey there.
Took him a second.
Wait a minute. That wasn't fair. I wasn't ready. Okay. You just all right, here we go.
In my mind, you'll always be Joey Wheeler.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Uh-huh.
And for the people that don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Yugs, right.
Get this Jersey Shore wannabe. Don't even make sense.
Look, man, you see that? I'm going to draw a smiley face on my hand. They going to know.
It's the heart of the card,
The real ones know.
Oh, my goodness. and for my next hand, Pot of Greed.
Followed by
Pot of Greed. You'll never see that coming.
I loved Yu-Gi-Oh!
I still love. Well, you know what? I only love Yu-Gi-Oh! With Yugi. I didn't like. I like the cards. I don't know if you got into the card game. I got really addicted for a while.
That was the only card game that I actually played. Like I had Pokemon cards. Yeah, I had Pokemon cards, but I never actually played. But Yu-Gi-Oh! I was there.
So
activating trap cards.
I wasn't very good at Pokemon, but I had cards for a long time. But you notice there was a trend, at least where we grew up, where people got the binders, we collected the cards, but nobody, we were too young to understand the instructions.
Right.
We didn't get it. So everybody would be all right, well, my Charizard beats what you got. So I guess it was very that's not how card games work at all. So I eventually got my decks together, and there used to be a Toys R Us that did weekly tournaments. And it was wild. It was my first experience with seeing kids in the 90s dressed up like Ash and Misty. And I was like, oh my God, look at these losers. But here I was, and I seen so much cool stuff there, and I absolutely loved it. So I got into probably official card games then, and I played Magic for a long time. Magic was starting to get its hooks into me, and then I don't know, I think puberty hit. It sounds disrespectful, but my focus changed is what I'm trying to say.
There you go. Nice save. Good save.
Yeah, I never disrespect my Magic people, but I'd get a girlfriend and bring her to my old Magic shop, and I'm like, let's hang out here, and she'd be like, you're going to lose me. And I was like, well, all right, guys, good seeing you. Take care.
It's been real, fellas.
Yeah, so Magic slowed down, but then later in life, I came back to Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while and super, super loved it. But again, we're talking about the series though. I love the card games, even though Pendulum are broken as fuck compared to the original cards. And I still respect a good Harpy deck and things like that. But all the Yu-Gi-Oh! The show wise, after Yugi was out of there, I just was not into it. I tried.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't for us at that point. I never even tried. After Yugi.
Well, I think the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is they tried to do sort of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure thing, where you change your main protagonist every so often. But with JoJo's, at least most of them are related, and there's a hand to, so it's a continuation of the line.
Right.
With Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, we had Yugi, and then I don't even remember the names of the other people, if I'm being honest. But it's just y'all still calling it Yu-Gi-Oh, but he ain't even there. It just wasn't real smooth. It's if you took Ash out of Pokemon. I think Pokemon's all right, but it would just be weird at this point.
Right.
If it's not red, blue, or green, I don't think anybody's really going to buy into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That it is weird, like you said. I don't think they maybe planned on it being as successful, and it was oh man, we got to keep it going. You know what I mean? We need something new, some pizzazz. Yugi, get out.
Yeah, I mean,
new kid, you're in.
Just think of any of the big popular series that's loosely anime, it's anime, but back in the 90s, take maybe Dragon Ball Z. Okay. You probably could have took one of the Z fighters and did a handoff if they kept Goku dead, Gohan or Piccolo or something. It would have worked.
I mean, I feel like they were setting up Gohan. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they were.
They were setting him up. He was
if they did what they actually wanted to do, yes. But I think it would have worked. But it wouldn't have worked if, say, they started on another planet that wasn't Earth, like just out of the blue. They're like, all right, guys, season 4. This here is a Saiyan, and his name is Hector, and he also made it when the planet exploded. Let's follow his journey. We would have been like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Absolutely not. No problem.
No. Also, if you guys are new to the podcast, and Happy New Year, by the way. This is, I think, the first show of the year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Head over to bodysnatchersmedia.com. We have audio transcription stuff on YouTube. We don't do videos anymore because it's a lot of work. Data, really, and I'm tired of overpaying my internet for something that has like not a super amazing payoff. So listen to the audio on YouTube if that's your thing, YouTube music or whatever. I cringe a little on the inside, but we're on Apple Music and all that fun stuff. Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Yeah,
I like Spotify.
Yeah.
Spotify makes me feel good about myself, and iHeartRadio.
Right? You like, yeah. You see that?
Right. It's like Doja Cat, Body Snatchers Media, Ariana Grande in the weekend. In that order.
That's a good time. That's a good time right there.
We're a good, we're like lettuce. You don't want us there, but you know we'll do it for you.
Right. I'm done. Be like, man, a little bit of crunch.
Yeah. Romaine lettuce, not iceberg lettuce, to be clear.
People don't care. They would be like, what is this? What are different? Give me some more. What? Arugula? What else? Like, nobody knows different types of lettuce.
Oh my God. So let's talk about some stuff. Did you watch The Witcher yet?
Yes, absolutely.
I want everybody to know it took Jay about 12 weeks to watch The Witcher.
Stop. It hasn't been out for that long.
It feels like it when I ask you about updates. You're like, well, 10 days ago I made it through, 37 minutes of an episode.
Hey, look, man, between the baby wrangling and just trying to figure life out, some people have to leave the house for work, Tino. I don't got it like that, I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking. I'm a very busy man. How dare you come for me?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Just because I'm not married and I don't have any kids and I work from home doesn't mean that I don't have a life. I went out and got a booster shot today for my Pfizer shot vaccination. Nice.
And and it's funny because the last episode, I actually had COVID and didn't even know it yet. And it's like, who knew? I knew that I was struggling, but I didn't think it was that. And here we are on the other side.
Yeah, you were feeling a bit under the weather. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, I had no idea. But so, cut me some slack. I guess I should have been laid up watching The Witcher, but I got through it.
Yeah, probably. I'm not proud of you for that, though. I mean, I'm happy that you're okay, but like, how dare you get brought to your knees and still be like, I ain't watching this show.
Hey, man, look. So going to The Witcher, did you feel it lived up to the first season? Did it give you what you wanted? Did you feel it was missing something?
So I watched the second season about 5 times. Okay,
so you said I'm in it. Head over heels.
Oh, I'm super invested. In fact, the weeks going up into, even though I've already did the same thing for the first season, as a refresher, I watched the first season 3 more times.
So wait, now I have a question. Did you watch the animated movie?
About 5 times.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm super, super, super invested at this point. I think that they did a fantastic job. Serious, they're funny as hell because they're like, yo, how can we make her look a little bit older quicker? Because it's only been like 2 years. And she does look older, but they were like, I know. Let's put some eyebrows on her. That's what they did. Like, I couldn't put my finger on it. Like, I was thinking, like, yo, like, I mean, she's a very, very pretty young lady. Mm-hmm. Like, at least that's how she came across. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, I didn't really even think about her being, fugly or cute or whatever in the first one. But I'm like, something happened. Like, she definitely looks just, aesthetically, just a much like prettier face. I'm like, what happened here? And I'm thinking, I'm like, it's the same damn girl, right? And then I was like, oh my God, it's eyebrows. Did they
said your eyebrows are flicking, girl? They came, they went to the church and they threaded it like they did at the mall back in the day.
Well, I don't even.
Malls existed.
Well, so they dyed them because her eyebrows are like she's very like pale. Mm-hmm. And has blonde hair, so it looks like she almost doesn't have eyebrows in the first one. And then the second season, I think they're dyed, unless they dyed her hair her natural color blonde. I'm not sure. I didn't look that deep into it, but All right, okay, so you got eyebrows, got it, noticeable, good change. So I'm wondering, like season 3, like, are they then going to like thread them? And you know what I mean?
Right. You
Like
say, get that shape right.
Right, your power comes from your eyebrows, and nobody can tell me different.
Makes sense. And so, who else had a glow up? Yaskia's hair kind of bothered me. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, man, what is that a wig?
He grew his hair out during the pandemic, and I'm gonna go ahead and take offense to that because I did too. I'm a musician.
You right. Both of y'all look like your name is Fran by the head. Like I can see it.
Okay, so we're choosing violence today.
Every day.
I'm mad that it took them so long for him to come out into the season. Also, I'm tiptoeing over like major spoilers. So we'll do that. But I'm mad it took so long for him to like come into it. But boy, was it nice to see him on screen once he came out. And his songs, he sings songs discussing the relationship between him and Geralt and their fallout. And boy, is that heavy.
Yeah. No, it was definitely well done. I was definitely surprised at how well the song kind of caught up. It was like it let you know how he was feeling. Like it was cool. I definitely did. I was surprised. Like it didn't. I don't feel like it had the same level of Toss a Coin. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't hit that, but it was solid.
I'm gonna disagree. I think it did. I didn't think that it could. But then again, I heard it more than you. You probably had one real quick. You had a partial playthrough. There was a baby monitor in the background causing interference. Like it may not have been, the same experience for the both of us. But me, I cried. I was like, I remember when I had friends and lost them.
Oh wow, that's what we're doing.
Did that hit close to home? Huh?
Like I'm sick.
You threw our friendship in the garbage for your family.
No, look, you ran from me, okay? You ran from us. You did this.
Yeah, you're right. I tried to twist it.
Enjoy your sunshine now.
Ain't no sunshine when it's gone. So Witcher, definitely worth the watch. Did you get all the way through?
Oh yeah. No, I finished that up.
How do you feel just as a whole? Again, trying not to dive in.
Right. Specifics. It was so as a whole, I enjoyed it. Like my one thing that I wanted from that I didn't get much of in the first season, I feel like, was Geralt using magic. Like he did a little bit of, little force fields, like a little boom real quick in the first season. But
he did it better than Keanu Reeves in that horrible Matrix movie we didn't ask for.
Hey man, they just thought, they was like, they'll love this. They just knew that they had a hit on their hands.
In my head the whole time it was just like, push me and then just push me. I was like, I fucking hate whoever made this movie, but it fit in Witcher. I thought it was good. I liked that they came back home to the Witcher training grounds. I like that we got to see other Witchers, and kind of like almost like tiers, like just to see like who's almost as cold as Geralt, who's not really,
right.
Whatever. And you got to see that Geralt is not your typical Witcher in comparison to the others. Like, not only is he better, but he's definitely kind of a tight ass. Like he bends the rules in weird places and expects everybody to go along. Right. But then when they want to do it for like their own personal reasons, he's like, yo, I'll tell on you. I'm like, what?
He said, chill. He's complicated, okay? He's complicated.
No, he's privileged. But I let it go because I love his character.
Yeah. No, but it was great though. I know a lot of people had issues with, I'm trying to tiptoe around it, but like, let's say that they feel like it didn't, because this is based off the books. So I'm familiar with the games. That's where I know the names. So I kind of feel familiar, but it's different stuff that's going on. And they said, I think people need to understand what an adaptation is. It's kind of the same thing that kind of happened with Cowboy Bebop. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's a direct translation, a one-to-one translation, people aren't going to be happy. If you change anything, people aren't going to be happy. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what you can do to have people actually just accept it and be like, okay, it is what it is. It's a show based off of blank, because they came for Cowboy Bebop hard and fast. They were just like, get it out of here.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, it's kind of like politics. Like you can't please everybody. No matter what you do, somebody is going to have some sort of like, opposition to it. Like you can read something in a book that sounds great. That's not going to transition well on screen. And vice versa. And with Cowboy Bebop, it was good. I don't care what anybody says, but they had to make alterations. Very few were unnecessary. I would say, you could argue there was a handful that were, but a lot of them were done, one, to kind of update it a little bit with the times because it's an older anime. Exactly. And two, the hope was to have some longevity to it, to squeeze out 2 or 3 seasons, is what they were trying to do. And I don't really have an issue with that. It was honestly one of the best adaptations I had seen. And it's definitely a difficult one to tackle. So to have a bunch of, weirdos come out and go like, you're ruining the source material. Like, shut up. If you know what I mean? Like, go watch that for the 50,000th time. Let us enjoy something new, because we're never going to get any additional writings. And honestly, I feel like a new season somehow, even though we know how it ended, with Spike, would be a disservice, to the original. Right. So I don't want that, but I'm okay with like an adaptation where they kind of milk it out and,
it's a retelling.
You have some fun with it.
And because it's like comic books, you know what I mean? Like everybody knows Spider-Man, but you have different writers telling it different ways. You get a different story. And it's just like, just you got to let it go, people. Go with the ride. It's okay.
Well, Marvel certainly had an advantage when it came to that, simply because, they had like the whole multiverse theme, and then started doing comic runs to kind of accommodate what was happening in the cinematic universe, in some aspects, and that just made it flow a little bit better. So, okay, cool. You still have your people that argue and blah, blah, blah. It used to be a lot worse. 10 years ago, it was bad. But Spider-Man would never do that. Like, shut up. It just kind of like is what it is. But with The Witcher, I mean, first off, the video games, the story in the games was solid. The very first game was a nightmare, but there were changes, like from book to game. And, just like anything else, now we've got 2 different source materials that we're pulling from to make something new. And I dabbled with the books. I did start playing the games. When it first came out, I was not familiar with really either, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know enough to where I can see a lot of key differences here, but I'm really enjoying myself, like just the universe as a whole. If anything, I think you can watch this series, get into it, and then go back and like read the books or play a game and then be like, oh, okay, it's not quite the same, but I'm having fun.
Right.
I heard that name, so
I know that guy.
Yeah, like it's fine. Like people keep dragging Cowboy Bebop like it was Dragon Ball Evolution. Like that's not what was done here.
Right. He said, stop it.
Or Avatar: The Last Airbender, that shit show came on TV the other day, and I just let it play for like a good 20 minutes, and it was just like, this is so, like, they thought they was doing something with this.
Okay, so now some time has passed, right? What about the Mortal Kombat movie? Are you trying to watch the sequel? Because I think they was talking about doing like 3 or 4 movies.
I mean, overall, I super liked it, except for the main character that was like the new character.
Right.
And across the board, most people agree with that statement. Like, it was just, I get it. Like, they wanted to create a character that was somewhat neutral in order to propel the story, because it's difficult to break away from like Liu Kang.
Right.
And like, okay, cool. But like, you easily could have. Maybe it was just risky because, if they started off and it was all about Sub-Zero, it would have been kind of weird. Like the, Lin Kuei and all that. And they would have been like, I don't know. or nobody wants a story about Jax. Like that would go nowhere.
That wouldn't have been it at all.
But I thought it was it's the best that we've gotten.
So look, okay. But that's not what I asked. Are you watching the next 3 movies?
I would give another one a chance. I just hope that it's less about that weird. I don't remember his name, Cole or whatever. In
Cole Young.
Yeah,
AKA
I hope
the Golden Jaguar, because he basically just stole Black Panther's power.
He absolutely did.
I'm sick.
It didn't even look good. Everything about that movie looked so good, but his like weird art, like that's his power. I was like, I don't like it.
And they hinted to it at the beginning of the movie. Like, man, you can't just get your ass beat. And he was like, but I can. And I'm like,
that's my power.
That's my power.
Secret. I'm always getting my ass beat. Okay. Yeah. So, I didn't regret watching it. I liked it. I'm trying to think of what other nerdy things I went into lately. Here's something slightly unrelated. Have you Well, I know you have. You got a little girl. Encanto?
Oh yeah, loved it. It was great. Watched it. That I watched 2 or 3 times, and then I got the songs on rotation on YouTube every morning. We singing and dancing.
The music is so good. My favorite song is when the strong girl, the strong sister, she comes out and like it's like okay, it's a pretty good song, and then like the beat switches and she starts like whispering, borderline like rapping into it, like flowing, and I was like, hold on, pause.
Yeah, they did that. That's a hit. That's a certified hit.
Yeah, no, Encanto was dope. Like I think in some areas as a whole, it was like I don't want to say boring, but like a very very simple story. Like the story starts and stops basically in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of hoping for like a little bit more of like an outside source outside of like the ghost of white people chopping up her granddaddy.
So look. All right, the house is where the magic was at, so you couldn't get too far from that,
right?
And I feel like they handled the ghost of white people the best way that they probably could. You know what I mean? Like
it was subtle where they didn't like attack them directly, which is a big deal for Disney because like they love gassing the white people.
And you know, I mean, and look, and what I feel like another thing that they did really good in that movie was just the diversity of the cast. You know what I mean? It was different shades of people. People have different hair textures, but nobody had to speak on it. You know what I mean? Like it just was like, this is normal. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? And that it was solid. Like that was good, man.
Okay. I mean, and that's fair. Like I said, I liked it. I just was kind of hoping for like a little bit of an outside source or maybe like, you know, some deity explaining why the magic is a thing, or maybe the grandpa coming back or something. And I think where I got salty, it was on a personal level, because for a lot of people this hit close to home because it's about like, you know, family turmoil,
right?
And kind of like growing up. But see, for me, I never had like any resolution. Like I moved 2,000 miles away from my family. Like most of them I don't give a shit about, and things stay that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, like
that's
again,
just because you still on the other side of the wall. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna act like the country is the wall. So you on the other side of it right now, right? And you peering over every once in a while, but one day when you gonna come back and somebody gonna run up to you and hug you, and you gonna be like, wait a minute. I missed something. You said not happening.
You grew up with a family that loves you. It's very different, Jay. It's very different. Like when you grow up with a family that's just like, you don't need high school, and then they're like, yo, you went to college and continued on getting certifications and finished, you know, high school. Like, you know what? I think you think you're better than us. And then you know what I mean? Like it's a very different type of dynamic. So it's like, you know, they try to hold you down to their level, and then you know, you rise above, and not in an arrogant way, but now just your presence and what you're doing becomes intimidating. So that, you know, they continue to shun you. Like even Christmas, I had some of the closest family members. Like I may have gotten 2 text messages, maybe that was it. You know, so again, like it's not like I'm not just like, oh, everybody feel bad for me. It's not one of those. It's just like I think for me, it missed its mark on being relatable. But I can see where somebody who felt a bit alienated from their family, and as time goes by and like things get better, I can see how that could hit really close to home emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I get it. And I'm glad that there's now a movie like that in existence. They couldn't make a Disney movie about the first situation I described, because that wouldn't end well. It would start with Disney and end over in, you know, some other company. Like they'd be like, well, I guess he's over here now. It got picked up. Yeah. Shit wasn't going nowhere.
Like, yeah, that wasn't for us. It wasn't the right fit. Not for Disney.
Yeah, no, they're like, we could have some songs, but lyrically, I
don't know.
Not you, buddy. Anything but you. But yeah, so like that's a whole thing. Morbius? Morbius got pushed back, which is disheartening. I was actually looking forward to seeing that. I wanted to see with the same, you know, people in line, because it's Sony's doing it, who did Venom, what their spin on this would have been. So I was really excited with all the Spider-Man stuff going on, and then now we got to wait a while.
Right, and now I'm trying to see if they're trying to find a way to shoehorn Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man back into it, because that's what I saw that they were talking about that, and they was just like, because look, we just made stupid money with this. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, no matter what we do, off of that, some of that is gonna trickle over regardless. So we just gonna sprinkle some Spider-Man on there, and it's gonna be a hit.
I don't know if Andrew's gonna want to do it though, because I mean, like he was definitely hurt when he did those 2 Spider-Man movies, and like just imagine like wanting to be Spider-Man like your whole life. Like that'd be like, when I was younger wanting to be Spider-Man and then getting hit with like Miles, Morales, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm gonna do it. And then I get ripped apart. They're like, Peter was better, Miles is stupid, like you know what I mean? Like just for no reason. And then like, the antagonist that they hire for me has nothing to do with me. They're like, yeah, it was so bad I'd never watch that movie again. And I just like my heart would be broken. I come back a decade later after healing to to collect my coins and hang out with Tom Holland too, but I don't think he's going to do it. I'd be very surprised. It's too early in the game.
Right. Too late in the game?
No, it's too early in the game to be making these accusations.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying. But to your point, yes, like it's probably too late in the game. Like, he's got other projects. He just had a movie come out on Netflix that I haven't seen yet, but I heard was pretty good. It's kind of like a musical-y, but like pulls your heartstrings type of movie. And I think like I'm excited to see him enter some roles like this.
Yeah.
We ain't got
I don't know. I haven't. I'm trying to think. The last musical that I watched that wasn't Encanto. Like, I don't know. It's been a minute. I can tell you that. I'm a manly man, Tino. Okay.
Okay. Whatever you say. Whatever floats your boat, pal. You say manly man, but your level in New World says otherwise.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but Jay started New World before me. And, now when he logs on, he needs Daddy to come in and hold his hand to make sure nothing bad happens to him.
The disrespect. But I will give it to him. Tino has been there for me. I'm like, Tino, this troll, he's giving me trouble. Help.
Yeah, and like my uncle always told me, with great power comes great responsibility. So I'm not going to leave you hanging, friend.
Hey,
I'm gonna come in there with my maxed out level and super rare items, and my sword and shield are yours.
Look, talking shit the whole time. Unbelievable.
I'm here to defend those who cannot defend themselves.
Look, sounds good.
Thought I was going to say weak, but that's disrespectful.
Right, there you go.
But why did it hurt more when I said it?
I was like, it sounds good. It don't feel good. I don't like it. Especially because it's true. That's the worst part of it. Like, ooh.
He's like, man, I need a squad of 3 for this mission. I was like, well, you got a Tino. Okay.
Right. That'll do it. Mission complete.
That'll get it done.
That'll do, pig. Like, that's it.
Not a babe pig in the city reference.
I had to.
Our young listeners aren't going to know what that is.
Yeah.
They didn't read the book.
They was just like, look, book. What? We go look. Look, you could throw on some old like movies. I was watching Aristocats with Dahlia.
I don't even like Aristocats no more.
Yeah, look, it's a couple songs on there. It's a hit. She was rocking with it. She said, "Oh, they're breaking the house down. Awesome."
I don't know. I had no issue with musicals as a kid, but I definitely feel like making every goddamn kids movie into a freaking musical is unnecessary. Like Brave Little Toaster. The reason they never play that anymore is not because the story was bad. It's not because the art concepts were bad. It's because the music in that particular movie was not very good. It was like weird 80s synth and not the good kind. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you're like, oh, I miss this movie so much. How come I never watch it? And then you turn it on, like they get to the junkyard scene and you're just like, ooh.
Yeah. Different times.
And I think that ruins, it can ruin a lot of movies. Like, I think one of the reasons Pixar does so well is because they don't sit down and double down on like, music, like How to Train a Dragon. Like they're not busting out in song and dance every second. Like people are dying, shit's getting real. Or the Incredibles. But then it can be done properly, like Moana or Frozen. Like oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that it needs to be in every kid's movie. Like imagine Spider-Verse if half the movie or more, like 70%, was just like them singing around, Peter's dead body with Goblin and spinning in circles. Just like, what have we done?
Oh no! Yeah, that'll be.
That's a Simpsons reference.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, you're right. But look, if it come out like Encanto, I can't deny it. You know what I mean? Like you got me. I'm here for it, you know. But I understand not everyone needs to be filled with songs. I'll give that to you though.
Not everything.
Not everything, but I don't know, man. If we don't talk about Bruno, forget about it.
Wow, that was clever.
Forget about it.
That was good. Okay, all right. You got to watch the movie if you didn't get what he just said. Like it's you'll watch it and be like, son of a gun, that was good.
The thing is gonna be that meme where you point at the TV, like, yep,
you son of a bitch. I'm in. All right, so I guess we're pretty much at time. So this has been a good catch up, right? We haven't. I was gonna say something slick to you.
No, look. I'm here for the ride.
Everybody, he had a look on his face, just like, I swear to God, if Tino says one more thing to me,
like I'm jumping through the screen. I swear I am.
And I almost got Steven's new computer up and running. Well, it's actually pretty much done, but I'm not going to send it out to him because he pissed me off. I'll make him wait a couple days before I mail it back.
Yeah, let me level up past him in New World.
Okay, yeah,
and then be like, all right, yeah, now you can have it.
Gives us a chance to rise up. He's not going to play that game on his MacBook. Can't handle it. It would explode. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out. We'll have some new content coming out this month. We may have some Gia coming back soon. I'll let you guys know. I think she's finally done fighting the war. So, we'll squeeze her in there so that I can take more breaks.
It's just like, I'm out.
But for real though,
it said Gia's in, Tino's out.
Seacrest out.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh all over again.
Oh God. So, all right, guys, I will see you later. Good morning, good night. Take care.
All right, guys. Peace.